Get promos and discounts from Filipino startups. Check out our partners at the description. Chris Guzman is founder and CEO at Pahatid.ph. Hello, Chris. Welcome to Startup Podcast PH. We're very happy to have you. Kamusta? Kamusta?
Hi, Johnny. Thank you. Finally, I've been a fan of Startup Podcast PH, and it feels surreal that I'm here. Thank you. Thank you also for accommodating me and our startup to be heard.
Yeah, thank you for listening sa podcast and thank you for supporting us, and we're very excited to learn about Pahatid.ph. So parang of course naghahatid. So this is like a courier service, and I've heard this is like a B2B service. But I'll have you do the introduction, Chris. So ano nga ba ang Pahatid.ph?
Thanks, Johnny. So Pahatid.ph is a business-to-business courier service provider. We provide personalized delivery solutions. So basically, we're a delivery solutions provider. Currently, we're just servicing within the NCR and GMA areas. I would say that I'm an advocate for delivery riders as to one of the reasons why this was created. But as we go further with the discussion, I am sure you'll be able to understand more who we are, how we started. But essentially, we're also a delivery service provider, but more focused on the B2B.
Yeah. Actually, I think that's the special part din So, i-dissect natin yan kasi now in the Philippines then, especially in Metro Manila, in the NCR, and even sa other metro cities, uso yung mga motorsiklo naghahatid, hindi lang ng goods kundi ng mga tao But your medyo ang special part is you're focusing on delivery of items, of goods, and yung kumbaga B2B approach dito. But let's start with the problem or kumbaga yung pain point ng mga businesses na ito because you're B2B So, ano nga ba talaga yung parang pain point or challenge for them that you're solving at Pahatid.ph?
Right. So, siguro a quick brief history as to how we started. It was actually inspired in 2020 during the pandemic era, hard lockdown, COVID. If you remember when we were all locked down in our houses, and sometime between April or May, if I'm not mistaken, we've seen, there were viral videos that spread out on mga courier services who I wouldn't mention, mishandling packages, right? I don't know if you remember
that. Frontliners.
I mean, advance ko yung riders nga namin back then, even up to now, since I'm an advocate, we call them as our front riders.
Front riders.
Right. But anyways, so it was inspired out of that. When I saw the video, I was shocked, but more than shocked, saddened in the sense that, I also got out of my job nung time na yun. So I wasn't doing anything. So parang I felt like these guys should be even feeling better or luckier kasi sila may trabaho and ako wala. But to my point, I used to work back in the US, so I got back nung time na yun. And to my point, my only two goals that were my aha moments or that really enlightened me to create this passion over profit project was one, to help riders, to help employ Filipinos who lost their jobs like me back then. And yun na nga, kasi parang at the time I was feeling that the front riders were being underrated, undervalued, diba? Although I have nothing against those people in the medical field, but during that time, again, think of the pandemic era when we were all locked down, all scared, didn't know what to do. So cut the long story short, so the problems that I have seen in relation to how Pahatid.ph came about, we're focusing on to three segments: the riders, the merchants or the clients or the business owners, and of course the customers, the recipients. With the riders, as mentioned earlier, generally speaking, I felt like they were underrated, undervalued. I did a quick and dirty research that, to my realization, they were really underpaid. I'm sure you also had your own opinions or first-hand information that you have gotten, but some courier service providers would even pay, or marketplaces would pay 20, 30 pesos per delivery. I heard pa nga, I don't know if it's already still dated or updated, but to some nagbaba pa out of like a 15 peso per delivery, diba? So parang 15 pesos, that's probably just a cup of rice.
Baba naman nun.
Sobrang baba. I mean, again, I didn't mention anything naman, but they were underpaid. That's one. Second, underrated, undervalued. So, and with those alone, I observed that, all right, these could be like the major factors as to why the delivery service is poor, or at least needs more improvement, right? Or it's being challenged. So the other problem that I have seen would be on the segment of the merchants or the clients or the business owners. Despite the courier services that have all these dashboards and platforms, I felt like I realized first-hand experience as well with those clientels that we currently have. They still feel they still feel inefficient in terms of like booking their multiple delivery requirements. I mean, it makes sense because, like,
Mm,
say if
yeah.
kung ikaw seller ka, if you have like 100 deliveries, kahit 20 lang right? I mean, you wouldn't really have the time to like book it one by one to the app or even on the dashboard. I mean, sure, you could just like upload an Excel and whatnot, but the opportunity that I have seen there is that at least with the business owners or the ones that I have been working with currently, they entrusted the service provider para siyang naging direct to business na nga talaga, 'di ba? Like the typical account management, client account management type of relation. So that was one. Of course, another factor, but very vital, would be the cost and the pricing. There were surely some problems with it. Now with all the courier providers in the country, tama ka kanina, there's a lot. There's already, like, in fact, there are more specifics. There's even like recently lang that I have seen, there's a specific delivery service who just does medical delivery or mga gamot, diba?
Yeah, I think I know that.
I think you've interviewed them, right? I mean, it's amazing, correct? Diba? I mean, so with that, I believe that there's always like a space for everybody. And then
Yeah.
lastly, of course, for the general customers or the recipients. I mean, we are also like a customer ourselves, but I think and I believe that we do deserve a better delivery service. There's still a lot of improvement that can be done. Simple as the communication, the way the riders, in this generation or era of social media, it's so easy to create a story or a narrative to say that to blame the rider or vice versa to blame the recipient. But to my point, at least with Pahatid, as to how we're trying to improve the system, we are in our tiny ways, we're trying to create like a better system or a better standards of delivery. So summing it up, the problems between the riders, the merchants or the business owners, and the customers and the recipients.
Yeah, first of all, so let me comment I mean, ang dami nating
Oh,
na-tackle na
sorry.
kasi this is a large parang this is a large
It's very,
kumbaga opportunity din and trend in the Philippines, especially in metro cities, na parang dumadami first of all e-commerce. Kumbaga, people can transact, businesses can transact with each other online, and parang siyang opportunity na maparami yung sales, maparami yung pagbenta. Pero behind the online transaction, kailangan mo siyempre i-deliver yung item, yung goods physically So, dumadami yung mga ganong opportunities. Pero paano naman yung parang logistics side ng physical So, I think yun din yung dahilan kung bakit medyo nag-boom yung mga courier delivery services. And then second na gusto ko lang din i-comment about what you said, yung pagiging undervalued ng mga riders. I think that's true kasi parang somehow weakness din ito ng it's actually a parang low barrier to entry na job na parang work Pero at the same time, if you're kumbaga provider, pwede mong, since low barrier to entry ito, may power ka. So medyo pwede mong babaan yung rates for the delivery riders. Ngayon, nalulugi naman yung mga riders So somehow medyo kailangan din ng proper kumbaga ng proper na approach dito But just to ask lang about the B2B aspect kasi you're focusing on B2B, and I think that's a good niche to spend on kasi nga dumadami yung first of all, dumadami yung SMEs, dumadami yung mga businesses na nagtatransact in the metro Pero who are these merchants exactly? Who are these kumbaga parang target ninyo na businesses? So what kind? And it's true kasi na parang it's true sa what you said kanina na more than just kumbaga P2P, may distribution aspect na parang these items will be delivered to here, to here, to here. So hindi lang siya parang point to point, kundi point to points, di ba? So, but who are these merchants? Who are these businesses?
right. Good question on that. Personal observation, ang dami-dami na nga talagang mga negosyo na kailangan talaga ng delivery, right? The extremes of who would have thought pati halaman pinapa-deliver na. Right?
Yeah. Uso yan yung mga online selling din pala sa online selling.
Mga plantitos, plantitas.
Yeah.
That pre-pandemic, we wouldn't honestly think na, pwede pala. Right? So, with your question, at least with Pahatid.ph, we have a pretty diverse list of clienteles. Of course, nandyan yung mga typical online sellers who sells clothes, shoes, or anything retail onto the clothing side. Pre-pandemic, ang dami ding market that we have tapped who were selling essential items. Back in the day, face masks, the fancy ones or the basic ones, the medical goods, alcohol spray bottles, daming volume noong time na yon. But siguro when we started out in the pandemic era or during the hard lockdown, one of the niche markets that I have thought of, which was very wicked, and I'm pretty proud of it, was tapping. So of course, I mean, I've had friends in the industry, but tapping those mga events organizers who were doing webinars or Zoominars, as we have called it back then. And remember when we would attend events or Zoominars, quote unquote, there would be like 100, 200 signups or attendees. But then alongside, they're given real time, they delivered mga PR kits or like mga certifications of some sort. Right? So kami yung nagde-deliver nun. So one of the markets or the niche markets that I have thought of, all right, kasi yung essence of working on a business to business, you only talk to one, but then you go by volume in terms of delivery.
Yeah. True.
So that was one until, ang tagal naming na-enjoy yun. Kasi back in the day, or maybe hindi na siguro na-realize ng mga businesses, back in the day, if you were the events organizer, even if you set up a team, yung team mo bibigay to like book 100 or 200 deliveries, diba? And it was hard. It was expensive. Remember also, there were a lot of like quarantine regulations, nakalimutan ko na MCQ, diba? So if you were to book via those career providers, ang dami pang restrictions, ang dami pang clearances, or mga add-on fees. So parang, it's just very inefficient. Whereas to us, we were Pahatid.ph. Ours is very, very simple. So you let us know the deliveries that you need and then let's pre-arrange it. So yeah, to that point. So with us, we were focusing on the niche markets. I mean, I didn't ambition to like compete with the Grabs and the Lala Moves. I mean, who am I to compete? They have billions of pesos. I don't have even a million. Pero to my point, my goal was just to get a slice of the pie and we're pretty happy. So online sellers, another thing, I mean, madami naman sila, so I wouldn't mind spilling the tea. The multi-level marketing sellers, kasi again, they go by volume in terms of the deliveries. Many others. Ang dami pang markets. In fact, there's even like the mga meal plan subscriptions. They have volumes in terms of like deliveries, right? So, gayon, to my point, most, if not all of our markets are very, very niche. And seeing the career services who are lately also trying to promote business to business deliveries, we feel like, all right, we are on the right track and we're pretty happy, even though that people don't know about us, for us to be ahead by like a step or two. So niche markets talaga yung focus namin.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying din kanina, no? Parang ang ngayon, ang opportunity dito is yung mga online sellers. So I can relate, I mean, if you have relatives or parents na plantitos, plantitas, usually dadating by motor yung mga halaman or kung ano mga binibili. Even sa Shopee, even like Lazada, no? Parang this stores, actually mga motor yung mga nagde-deliver ng mga items na yan, And so ayun, so paano nga ba nagwo-work si Pahatid.ph? So paano nagwo-work yung platform? Kasi I think ang power ninyo is parang more than just point to point, yung distribution aspect yun actually yung parang na-utilize ninyo na parang how you make the operations efficient and how you make it, kumbaga, sulit din para sa mga riders, na parang imbes na point to point, nababalik pa dun sa original na point, pwede niyang from one point, i-deliver na to many points, kasi the maraming items of the same kind yung i-deliver. But yeah, so ano yung parang difference nito and how does it work? Example, I'm a merchant, I'm a seller, so I want to book a rider through Pahatid.ph. So how does it happen? How does it work? How can I book, for example, many locations or something like that?
Right. So we have a website. We also have our social media pages. Thankfully, most of our clients or those leads that we get are 90% organic. So normally when they message, So we would do, a few exchange of messages online. And then once we pre-assess or qualify the lead na all right, there's a potential, we would set up a call with the merchant to like just better understand, like ask them, I mean, of course, briefly introduce as to who we are, and then ask them as to what is their current delivery process, just so we can already assess if there's a fit or if we can offer a better service for them. And then as soon as we have that conversation, we would create like a group Viber chat with them. Kasi one of the pain points that I have seen and observed is communication. Diba? Again, us being small versus a platform that's really big and seamless and with all the technology. But then you signing up with that kind of platform, but you would get automated responses, or you would get like responses after 48 hours or X days, versus someone who can just like answer you directly what's the problem or what's the need, diba? So yun yung kagad na din-establish namin, that we're really proactive, reactive, and we take the initiative in terms of the communication. And then normally they would ask a few more questions until they agree, until we make them go on board. Either they book it through the website or randomly. I mean, kasi most of the merchants, man, we have like a couple, I would say 4 out of 10 would have daily deliveries, but then 6 out of 10 would have like an every other week deliveries, but would have bulk deliveries. So for the daily deliveries, we have our own internal systems as to sharing files and whatnot. But for those mga per batch na deliveries, they would either send it to us via email. Hey, pahatid, here's the batch for delivery for Monday, 200 deliveries. Deadline is until like Wednesday. So, yun. I mean, it sounds basic, but then it does the job. Right? It does the job. And yun na nga, one of the things, I mean, I'm happy to get opinions out of this. One of the things that still keeps me in mind or keeps me thinking, because we're on our 4th year. Actually, we just turned 4 3 weeks
since
ago.
Pandemic.
Since the pandemic, right? But we kept on wondering and challenging ourselves. Despite the 4 years, if not all, most of our clients have never really demanded us to like build up an app or like the efficient technology. I mean, we would get there. Of course, we would get there. Internally, obviously, we can't afford it yet, but we would get there. Pero to my point, so if that's not really like a recurring problem, then there's no urgency for us to invest. Because otherwise, we would just burn money. And then it goes against the mission of Pahatid to keep on employing riders to have better payout opportunities or have better opportunities. So,
and actually, if you build an app nga, dagdag expenses pa siya for your for your riders. So, kumbaga sila pa yung magka-carry ng mga nito eh. I mean, bababa yung sweldo somehow
Right. I mean, and I'm proud that despite the 4 years of operations, I would say 6 out of 10 merchants who we work with currently are still the same merchants who have been with us since day one, who have entrusted us. So those things, I mean, I'm happy. And they're very diverse. I mean, yung 6 na yon, merong clothing online seller, merong bike part supplier, merong this and that. So I guess that proves that we're doing something right, as vague as it sounds. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're just a delivery service, and if we do the job, then we're making a good job.
Yeah, this is very interesting. Actually, very very interesting. Because it's true, no, na sometimes tech can make things more expensive operationally, eh. And then kung hindi naman kailangan, you can just stay with the basics, diba? So, and super basic nito. Kasi ang difference din with like with other courier delivery services, may app. Yung app na yun for the parang ibubook yung point to point, diba? Doon ilalagay yung location to another location. Tapos, doon din siguro, yun din yung dahilan kaya nga na-undervalue yung mga riders kasi napupunta sa tech, doon sa may operation, doon sa, kumbaga sa app yung bayad, Pero, if you can remove that expense, maybe you can overrate, kumbaga mapataas pa yung bayad sa mga riders, and then, ang approach nyo kasi is more of parang it's more of like a partnership, eh. Hindi siya parang transactional na this business, this person, this client will book once from this point to that point and then tapos na. yung sa inyo, in what I see, since it's a B2B din, parang kayo yung nagiging delivery arm na ng mga business na ito, na
Right.
kayo na yung consistent na kumbaga taga-deliver. And I think even if you go basic, that's actually the fundamentals of having a delivery arm, ano. I mean, you don't need naman an app if you set already na in your Viber lang, in your channel, na parang this is the schedule and these are the locations and that's it. And then Pahati.ph will do the rest, right?
Okay, right, exactly. I mean, I don't have like a solid tech team who reviews everything, but I do have like consultants, like from friends who are in the industry of
Mm.
IT here and abroad. I mean, I used to work in San Francisco, so I have pretty good friends slash consultants who I would weekly or monthly consult with. Hey, how are we doing with the UX, with our UI? But
Mm.
ganun eh. I mean, you're correct. It does the job, but don't get me wrong. We have our internal platforms that we use,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
we
yeah. Yeah.
outsource, that we pay subscription for. Some
Mm.
logistics management software to like keep track of the riders. But to your example earlier, I strongly agree. Like it costs din yun eh, diba? If we are able to like cut the cost on the booking side, like you trying to like pin the location, but more than the cost, here's like a practical example. Most of our clients who book, hate na hate nila. You know why? Because they were saying, Pahatid, how am I... So I would book normally the address. Paano yung mga addresses na block 2, lot 12, barangay ganyan? And then,
Yeah, yeah.
hindi mo pa mapin exactly, di ba? And
Mm.
then, ang repercussion pa nun, come the time, may dadating naman na rider who would accept the booking and then do the delivery. But
They will
wait
ask
for
na
a
lang
few
kung saan yun.
minutes, tatawag ulit yung rider, ma'am, saan po ba dito? Yung block 12, lot 9, di ba? So, and it's an everyday thing, right? It's a recurring problem. And yun na nga, all our clients or merchants who book, they super happy. Chris, since we've booked through you or we've been using you, I never got a call
Ah.
asking like
Mm.
where the block. Kasi like to that example, so solution namin, yung riders naman namin are geographically based. All our riders directly report
So
to
sila na
us.
lagi. Sila na lagi dun sa location na yun.
Exactly. So if you're from Bulacan
Ah.
or from Antipolo, then your focus is just within that 10-kilometer radius, or that's your
Mm.
area. Kasi it makes sense.
Mm.
If ako taga Pasig, why would I deliver in Caloocan or in like
Yeah.
Alabang? Hindi ko naman alam yun eh. But
Mm.
bring me to Pasig. I'll take it to wherever in Pasig, from Ortigas
Mm.
to Buting to wherever nearby,
Mm.
Rosario. Because I know it. That's my turf. And it
Yeah, yeah,
works.
yeah.
It really works.
Yeah, so
Alam din
parang
ng
ano,
mga
no?
pasikot-sikot.
Yeah. Ang galing, galing, galing. I mean, this is also another power eh, na parang kumbaga yung mga lokal dun sa lugar na yun, sila na dun yung bahala dun sa turf nila, na sila yung magde-deliver ng mga ano dun. So parang nangyayari din for the businesses, for the yung B2B ano nga nito, yung businesses, hindi parang in others na it's transactional. Dito parang nakakahanap sila ng tao na alam yung pasikot-sikot dun sa lugar na yun na yung magde-deliver ng mga items doon sa lugar na yun. How many
Mhm.
are your riders pala sa Pahati.ph? Gaano karami ng riders ninyo?
All in all, we have a pool of 25 riders.
Mm.
Medyo
Magkakaibang lugar
malaki na
yan,
rin.
ano?
Magkakaibang lugar. So like average of like mga 2 to 3 riders per city. So like Quezon City,
Oh,
tatlo,
in Metro Manila, yeah.
Kamanaba, dalawa, Pasig, yeah. And it does the job. And it
Mm.
covers the whole area. So,
Mm.
and then we're growing. I mean, as we expand geographically, then for sure we'll be hiring more. But for now, it suffices. Like each rider gets to deliver an average of like 15 to 20 parcels. And with the traffic, I mean, isolatedly yung ulan, of course, that's like a pain point for us to delay the deliveries. But with the average number of ratio of deliveries per rider, it does the job. Kasi nga, they already know the area.
Ayun. So, puntahan naman natin, Chris, ang story behind Pahati.ph. So, medyo nabanggit na rin yung story, no? Yung parang nagsimula ito ng pandemic. But you, how about you, Chris? So, what's your background and why did you decide, kumbaga, given your background, to build a startup, to build Pahati.ph? So, can we know about that, kumbaga, yung jump na yun to starting a startup?
Yeah, thanks for that. Brief background on my end. So I have 15-year work experience, professional experience. The industries that I have worked with were in FMCG, in F&B, food and beverage, consumer services, even human resources, but then mostly developing or doing business development. Until I landed into moving to the US in 2016. Before that, I was also like based abroad. I used to work in Vietnam in 2009 till 2012. No, 2010 to 2012. Medyo, and then when I got back from Vietnam, the job that I worked for were mostly focusing on expanding to Visayas, Mindanao, which is why earlier when we were talking, I was telling you that I used to live in Cebu. So I pretty been gone around until 2016. I personally decided to like further my studies, and I wanted to be exposed in the tech side of things. And for me, there's no other place than San Francisco to be like a good venue for me to like learn that. Of course, like I've had personal aspirations that I wanted to achieve. And I was fortunate enough to land into tech Silicon Valley startups, which exposed me to know more on the innovations, on the tech side of things, despite my upbringing of lacking tech or lacking technology. So I briefly understood, like I can talk to like coders, so like IT people, those mga front end, back end, Python, SQL, etc. that I would relate to business. Until 2020, of course, the pandemic, the world stopped. And I went back home during the hard lockdown for obvious and personal reasons. So that was when Pahatid was formed, as I have shared earlier, out of that viral video inspiration. And my two goals back then were pretty simple. And then it was crystal clear for me. Because normally business owners or founders would do a lot of like researches and would end up getting the paralyzed with their analysis, the analysis paralysis until they would get demotivated of like, ayoko na, tatamad na ako. But for
Good thing
me,
you
I
mentioned that.
really, right? I really wanted to like make it simple. I didn't ask a lot of people because otherwise if I have done that, then I would have been demotivated as well or be delayed. So the two goals that I was saying, one, yun nga, to employ Filipino people, riders specifically, as I wanted to give more credit to them. The most remarkable that I have remembered, the humbling then. I mean, I used to be an expat or I used to work abroad, diba? But then I've had a rider for like 3 months. He used to be an FA of Emirates. Imagine that, diba? It was very humbling. So that itself, diba? Parang exactly like napaka-underrated, and then normally pag may mga delivery sa pangit, generalized na kaagad that it's the delivery rider. But anyway, that's diba? So,
True,
but
true,
to
true.
my point, I'm really an advocate of delivery riders. And to his point, he was just trying to make and to meet his needs, diba? But at least I was very happy. Now, okay, I mean, I've told him I used to also like work abroad. I know how it feels, but then we both understand that we need to survive the pandemic and make sure that it doesn't cut. I mean, our financial resources would not get cut. But anyway, so but still, it hits the goal of helping employ Filipino people. And then I was saying, generally speaking, the other goal is just as vague as it sounds, to improve the quality of delivery in the country, addressing the viral video that I have seen. Very quick and dirty. I mean, with the 15, 12 years experience or 10 years experience back then, I'm pretty sure that I've had some learnings naman out of the industries that I have worked for in terms of like customer service. I also did like a logistics consultancy back in 2019 for a Vietnamese company. So medyo may learning naman ako in the logistics side of things. And of course, personal observation out of like the online orders that I would get. So to that point, dun ko lang siya binuo. In fact, like the brand building of Pahatid, before I came with Pahatid, I was only routing between Pabili or Pahatid. The Pabili insight was, you remember during the hard lockdown, ang daming ganun, Pabili, pasabay, diba?
Yeah.
But then when I searched on it, when I seen it, shoot, may mga career service na who have used these terms. Wala pa nung Pahatid. So I immediately got in it, registered it, but yung quick idea ko lang doon, kasi Pahatid is very Filipino. That's one. Two, I think across all social classes, ginagamit naman yung word na Pahatid, diba? Oy, Pahatid naman ng ganito. Oy, Pahatid mo naman ganan. So I just felt like, okay, may recall siya. May resonation, diba? May magre-resonate siya to like all social classes. But as what I have said earlier, I didn't want to overthink out of those things kasi ayokong ma-demotivate pag masyado nang tumagal. I just asked like my family, how does this sound? Okay, sige, go na yan. Okay, so pahatid.ph na tayo. Until
Yeah.
when I was doing some A-B testing, kasi ang ginawa ko lang, during the hard lockdown, kumuha ako ng 2-3 numbers ng mga riders. Kasi remember back then, ang hirap mag-book, ang mahal, plus at the same time, ang tagal. Well, another thing was that yung trust, di ba? Kasi the hard lockdown, we were also like scared. Remember, may mga stories na nagka-COVID because of a delivery rider.
Yeah.
Diba? So, with me, nung that time, we go, so when we booked, kasi yung household namin back then, everybody moved back home. So we were averaging mga 6 to 10 deliveries a day. Whether it's a food delivery or like a pabili nga or like a whatever. So, kinuha yung numbers sila. Sabi ko, Kuya, let me get your numbers para hindi na kami magbo-book. Tulong ko na lang din. I mean, I'll even top up or like dagdagan ko pa yung delivery service para diretso na kami sa'yo. Diba? But what people didn't know was that I was already testing the market. Kasi nga, pwede. It resolves a problem. It resolves a pain point just like any other startup would think of as to how they would start. So, medyo check na yun. And then after a few days, when I tested on the riders, okay, they're good, they're efficient, they're trustworthy. Shinare ko lang yung numbers to like friends and family who were also, kasi I would also like see a lot of posts on Instagram and on Facebook. Hirap mag-book or like, may kilala bang may rider na ganyan. So I shared it to friends and family. Like, hey, I have 3 delivery riders that I have direct contact with. Ito yung mga numbers nila, taga dito sila. Try texting or calling them directly. Pero it wasn't a business yet. I mean, again, it was just a generous offer to like help out a rider or riders and help friends to suffice their delivery needs. And until weeks that have passed, organically it reached to like a friend who was like an online seller, an online seller. Called me up, Chris, I heard that you have a courier service. I was like, no, wala akong courier service. I was just helping delivery riders. Why, what's up? And then she was like, Chris, I have 4,000 parcels that I would need to get out of my warehouse and have it delivered. Hindi ako sinasagot ng courier service A. May mga parcels pa ako na natenga kay courier service B. I would lose a lot of money if I don't dispatch this. So I transparently told that friend, and that friend is still a client up to now. One of those talagang remaining, like who have been with us since day one. Transparently just told her, I don't have a platform. I don't even have a brand yet. Meron lang akong mga contact ng riders. But I'll try to make a quick and dirty system. Paano nyo ba ginagawa? Paano nyo ina-arrange yan? Saan yung warehouse? Saan yung pipick upin ng mga parcel? And then I'll figure out. Give me like 2 to 3 days. Until, the friends have just entrusted. Bahala ka. Basta ito yung parcels, ito yung mga products, ito yung mga information. We can just share it via email or like a Google shared Excel sheet. And then I leave it up to you. And the rest was history. We were able to like suffice the delivery na nagawa namin. Of course, on the side, I've experienced a lot of like failures, a lot of learning experiences, but I was happy. I was fulfilled kasi at the end of the day, I go back to the goals that I have, which were to employ Filipino people through the riders and to improve like a better system. That's when my biggest aha moment enlightened me. Na parang, Chris, the startup gods were like, Chris, it's time for you to formalize it and build pahatid.ph.
That's a good story actually, very very kumbaga very grassroots and very kumbaga kitang-kita yung kung paano nabuo ang startup. But parang in what I understand parang ang nangyayari, nagugustuhan ng mga businesses ang pahatid.ph kasi ang term dito is parang you're the hyper local, parang yun yung term dito na. And ang nabubuo nyo parang that's why businesses are choosing you aside from having good tech or maybe about the prices is parang yung trust yung parang consistency and parang kumbaga peace of mind then for them na this is already our delivery partner and as long as I have parcels items to deliver, pahatid.ph riders are here to help me deliver this. So parang parang trust and nakakatanggal ng sakit ng ulo for these businesses. But on growing pahatid.ph, so after those after those initial validations, you're slowly growing pahatid.ph to be formal, to be a kumbaga ano na nga, a standard way of delivering ano. How did you find other merchants, and how do you find the riders? How do you find more riders?
Right. On the riders, it's so easy to find delivery riders. To find is one. To test them out is another. So
Mm.
finding them, as simple as you just go on Facebook. There's a lot of
Ah.
group pages for mga riders. Riders,
Oh.
Grab riders, delivery riders, Pasig.
Oh.
Ang daming subgroups na ganun. And there are thousands of members. So that's one thing. And then yung current riders naman namin, pool of riders, would also have friends na mga riders. So may mga kakilala, maybe a kamag-anak, a pinsan, a kapitbahay. So madali yon. But then testing it out, as I have said, is another thing. Of course, you make sure, aside from the typical screening, employment screening, but the efficiency, kaya ba nila? Are they able to follow the way we do it? So, okay naman. So that's another. But that supply of rider side of things, it's easy. In terms of finding a merchant or like a client, I would say it's also easy in the sense that one, they're all widely available online. Just go on Instagram,
mga online seller.
online seller,
Yeah.
even mga small, mga medium to large enterprise, even companies.
Shops. Yeah.
Everybody has their own social media page. So as simple as the email is there. Some even, like ako pa nga back then, even up to now, randomly when I have extra time, I would randomly message merchants that are mga medium scale enterprises at 10, 11 in the evening. You'll be surprised yung response rate is faster than a normal day, than a normal hour. Kasi I mean, if you're a business owner yourself, yun yung downtime mo eh, diba? That yun yung social media time mo.
Yes.
Right. So we've done a lot of like A/B testing as to how to source our leads, to look into our leads. We have that sales process in qualifying leads, but they're also widely available and organically. Yeah. From time to time, we would post mga Facebook, Instagram ads just to like get us out there, and may mga maganda naman yung conversion. So that's how we do it. And it does the job, you know.
And by the way, with regard to pricing pala, so would you say na mas mura ang inyong delivery compared to other competitors out there?
I would say that it's more practical. It's not the cheapest. Right.
Okay.
You know, how do I explain this? If you pay cheap, of course you get cheap delivery.
Okay, yeah.
Diba? If you pay a little higher to what you would want it to be, then you get like a better service. Pero kasi kami, we leverage. One, hindi naman din kami, we're not an on-demand delivery service. The reason why these platforms are able to like deliver at a lower rate is because there are thousands of riders. But I don't know if you've observed as to when was the last time you probably have booked via Courier A or Courier B. When you book a rider, pag nakabook ka na, tatawag yung rider, "Sir, from X delivery service po, sir, okay lang ba na may isabay ako na dalawang delivery bago ka?" Right? I mean,
gets.
Even if you paid, 60 pesos or 70 pesos?
Okay.
Pero makukuha mo pa ng ganito katagal or more than the tagal, it's the risk eh, di ba? So, as opposed to us, we're not promising a time, but we'll give you a range of time and we'll be very active in letting you know as to how or to when you would get it, to keep track of it. But yun, may mga result. But pricing per se, it's competitive. Na it's sulit. Kasi nga, like most of the merchants or clients that we work with would generally say, transparently speaking, pahatid, to be fair, medyo you're more expensive by 15, 20 pesos, 25 pesos. But we're happy. It's seamless.
It's the quality and the trust nga. And kumbaga, they will pay a little bit for that, for that consistency. Kasi, I mean, yung kanina rin sabi mo, parang mga on-demand. And that's a good term, actually. They're on-demand na. Somehow yung mga iba dito yung parang urgent na need, kaya okay lang kahit na may ibang unahin sila kasi they really need that item. Pero for like standard deliveries na parang medyo regular na yung schedule, so they really need a trustable partner, quality partner like Bahati.ph. By the way, Chris, do you have a co-founder in here, and are you looking for other co-founders?
Oh nga, great question. I mean, currently everything's self-funded. It's also like
Ah,
but I have a lot of good friends in the industry and out of the industry who are vital into giving insights about Pahatid or logistics in general. But I'm not really hardly looking for a co-founder yet. But if there's anyone who's interested, I'll be very much open. For now,
mm,
it's the brain, the main brain of this is just myself.
yeah. And then ayun, so for like for your future plans ano, so how do you plan to grow si Pahati page, especially like in the business side? So parang how do you make this a fully fledged profitable business with all your riders, with all your merchants? So are you expanding, are you growing, are you looking for more riders, are you looking for more merchants? And kumbaga ano ba ang future ni Pahati.ph?
Yeah. Fortunately, we're very profitable, or at least decently profiting. We've passed beyond the meeting just what do we call this? But we're very profitable generally speaking. Kasi like as to how we started naman, we just kept on rolling eh. Like me, I would only hire new riders if there are new merchants. I would only create
True, gets.
merchandises or create uniforms pag merong bagong riders. I mean, I wouldn't stock money. I wouldn't keep a lot of like inventory. So that we just keep on rolling the finances. So we're pretty good, stable financially. As to expansion plans, for sure we have future plans or like expansion plans. One, our focus is just within the niche markets. Medyo kami yung on that side of things. Like, ito, medyo spill the tea. Who would have thought that you can have like a market within or between within the celebrities? We have celebrity clients. I wouldn't name,
Mm,
but we have celebrity clients who would
interesting.
you wouldn't really know, but then when you realize they're an added chunk of our revenue annually. Like that's one thing. Seasonally, gift deliveries pag Christmas, volume dyan.
Mm.
So those are like the random niche markets or niche strategies that we're trying to like focus on. Of course, there would be a lot of geographic expansion. Slowly, hopefully, we get to expand more within Luzon, like maybe Pampanga or as far as up
Mm.
as Baguio. But we have yet to try kasi it's easy naman to like bring or to copy the formula. But putting up a team is the most challenging part. But sure, we would have geographic expansion to key cities. And that would result to the goal of employing more career riders. And we would be very happy with that. I mean, for the past 4 years, we've tripled as to how we started. Even, I mean, 25 souls of delivery riders, I think is already like, a good ticket to heaven. Jokes aside, I'm pretty happy with the current team and I'm sure I'd be able to employ more, hopefully as we expand more. And lastly, of course, we'll just keep on acquiring or onboarding more clients who we think would be a great fit to our delivery services.
On the ano pala no, on the geographical expansion, curious lang ako. So will you do like for example Baguio to Manila to Baguio? Kasi ang problem dun, paano yung pabalik? Eh paano yung balikan kasi or will this be like parang within cities lang, within Manila, within Baguio. So how do you see that lang?
Yeah, at least to the key cities that we will expand next, we would be able to come up with a structure, maybe like a twice a
Mm.
week delivery para when we
Mm.
get to invest like a truck or like a transport who would transport packages or parcels from Manila to Baguio,
Mm.
'di ba? It's a matter of like scheduling.
Ah, yeah.
But
True.
the Vismin naman siguro we can partner with like other courier services who are able to
Mm.
like do air freight or like cargo freight. But sila na muna yon. Hindi namin focus yon. We don't have the money. But we'll get there. So when we expand also, we'll just focus on the city delivery lang muna kasi
Yeah.
may mga volume naman na ganun.
Yeah. And another thing you mentioned ano, yung scheduling. Actually, ito rin isa pang power nyo sa Pahati.ph kasi hindi nga kayo on demand. So, kumbaga na-manage, maybe right now you're the one doing it. Yung parang pag-schedule na maayos na this rider, ito na yung mga schedule per delivery niya maybe for this week. Ano. So, maybe pahingi lang ng onting tips. Especially, I mean, I'm an industrial engineer. I'm on the operations research. Ano, so, medyo hilig ko rin ito. Eh. So, parang, how do you do that, yung scheduling part? Especially pag maraming one rider can have multiple deliveries and maybe multiple merchants ano. So ano lang, pahapyaw lang sa paano nyo ginagawa ito.
Right. Well, in terms of the supply side sa mga riders nga, they're all geographically based.
Yeah, yeah.
So, it's easy to like sort and route their areas. I mean, again, we have the platform who also helps us out, who automates things. But then, I would say 40% of that routing is still from the team. But it's easy, again, because like, as mentioned, if I'm from Pasig, if there are like 12 Pasig parcels or Ortigas, Pasig, BGC, Max na siguro, that can be tagged to me. So the routing is that. Tapos on the scheduling, I mean, our promise is a next day delivery. So our lead time is just like 1 day to like sort things out. We are averaging. I mean, we're still small, but you know, it's a good number to start. We're averaging of like conservatively 150 parcels per day.
Oh, madami na yun.
Medyo madami na rin. 150 headaches. But again, nakasanayan na rin naman. So, and tulungan din yung team. I mean, tulungan yung team. Like everybody does their own job in helping out sort. So if this rider saw na, okay, itong parcel na to is for Kamanaba, of course, then he would initiate sorting it out within the Kamanaba. So lahat kami may role and equal. Like ako din, kasi I also stand by example. I'm in the warehouse every day. I would sort also. Para, you know, there's no hierarchy. I mean, siguro manageable pa because we're small. But 4 years of doing that every day, I think it became a habit, and it's very motivating for the whole team to like see that everybody's equal, everybody's really motivated in doing the pahatid.
Yan pala isa din kinaganda kasi yung riders nagiging part sila ng team. They're not just like on-demand na riders na parang nakuha sa Facebook group or they apply as rider to a certain company, pero kumbaga talaga deliver lang sila. So here parang nagiging part talaga sila ng team. Are you doing this pala full-time? Ay, sige, go ahead, Chris.
Right, sorry, I wanted to build up on that. Because remember when during the pandemic era, we coined them as the front riders, diba? So talagang the thrust that I wanted to build out of is that they're the heart and soul of the company. So by that saying, talagang I really empower them, I really involve them in being in the know. Kasi they're the front rider eh. If you're a brand seller and you're entrusting your parcels through us, hindi naman ikaw yung frontliner eh. Yung rider namin eh. They are the representative of your brand. So, given that, kami, before we onboard like a new merchant or a new client, we would share it to the team. Meron tayong bagong merchant, ito yung mga products nila, ito yung social media pages nila, tingnan ninyo how they communicate. We would build like a basic script, inform them like, or make them memorize or understand like a sentence or two, who they are, what they are. Kasi there are deliveries na magtatanong, kuya, ano? Like ikaw, randomly, I'm sure there would be days someone would call you, sir, delivery po. Maybe you're expecting 2 or 3 parcels within that week. Diba? Ikaw makakalimutan mo. So normally, you would ask, anong delivery ulit yan? So kung si front rider ng pahatid would explain you na, hi sir, merchandise po from Startup Podcast PH. T-shirt po ata or cap. So at least on your end, okay, thanks. Tapos, diba? And you would recall. So with that, yung front riders namin up to now, we really carry that and we really empower them. We really make them a part of what's going on. You know, 90% we're very transparent to them. We make them understand. Kaya din naman, yung retention rate ng riders namin, 7 out of 10 riders who have been with us since day one are still with us. And I'm pretty happy with that.
Nice. Ayun, are you doing this full-time, Chris, now?
You know, I'm a workaholic eh. So I have other things that I want to do.
Other full-time jobs.
Full-time on a daylight. Pag may araw. But don't get me wrong. I get to sleep 7-8 hours a day. But for 4 years, it's already been 4 years. So it became a part of the system. But I'm in the warehouse every day. I visit them. I look into them. I randomly still sort. Sometimes a month, I would deliver myself to mga malalapit lang using my car. But kasi like, that's my practice also. I would like to be in the know. If yung rider nahihirapan out of the heat over summer or out of the ulan with this current season, I want to experience it. I mean, not necessarily siguro na ako yung mababasa, pero like yung getting stuck in the traffic, seeing how it works, So like, ako din, medyo in the know naman din ako on the ground. So again, I can stand by example. And I would know kasi a rider can just easily say na, sir, traffic, hindi ko po na-deliver. I can just blindly say yes or assume that it's really happening. But then if I've experienced that traffic in Las Piñas going to Muntinlupa, then I know that it's really traffic kasi may mall dyan or like this particular condo is very strict. So I would randomly and isolatedly go out on the street, on the ground to experience it myself. Para sabihin din nila na hindi mo naman alam eh. Kasi hindi ka naman lumalabas.
True.
But interestingly, I mean, kasi we've also had deliveries for celebrities nga. Ako din, natutuwa ako. Like, siguro yung pinaka-random.
May autograph ka pa.
Sorry to share. Di naman a photo, pero like with Pia Wurtzbach for like a client. Siya yung bumaba. Siya yung bumaba out of her condo. Yes. Wow. We were surprised. We were told na siya talaga yung mag-receive. Kasi siguro it's very confidential. It's a confidential package. But when I knew or when I was told na si Pia yung bababa, I'll take care of it. I mean, malapit lang naman. But those examples, but still, I got to do the job, right? And making the business fun.
Ayun, so maraming salamat, Chris, for this conversation. Napakaganda ng ating usapan. I mean, this is a very unique startup, ano? This is a very unique approach then to doing B2B courier delivery service. So ayun, maraming salamat for sharing all of this. And if our listeners want to find more information about you, maybe there are some businesses, some online sellers who want to partner up with Pahatid.ph. So how can they connect with you? How can they get more information?
Thank you, Johnny. So just keep in mind, Pahatid is your B2B delivery service. Please feel free to check our website, our social media pages for more updated posts or engagements or what's going on with us. www.pahatid.ph or on Instagram and Facebook at PahatidPH. So you can check who we are, how we're doing, the clients who we work with. But if you think that kami yung kailangan ninyo, please feel free to message us. Sometimes I also answer directly on Instagram messages or Facebook, so I have it on my phone. But yun, we're very proactive naman on mga social media pages or inquiries. And may mga numbers din doon and email contact information such as email as to how you can reach us. And thank you very much. I appreciate your time and letting our story be heard. Thank you very much.
Ayun. So maraming salamat, Chris, for this conversation and more power to Pahatid.ph. Thank you.
Thank you. More power to your podcast as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to our 45 patrons. This episode is super powered by AskLexPH Academy, our official e-learning partner. Get certifications on Lean Six Sigma, project management, data science, and more. ROC.ph, our creative marketing partner. Get unlimited digital marketing services monthly. 1CFO services, bookkeeping and tax and payroll processing for startups and small businesses. Tuala, privacy-focused digital experience for sharing identity information across Web 2 and Web 3 ecosystems. And Space PH, global co-working space, private office, and meeting rooms for startups, digital nomads, and freelancers. Ignite Careers, career matching platform for Filipino talents and hiring companies in the outsourcing industry. Mamiki Super Pet App, the Philippines' first ever one-stop mobile app for pet products and services. Mata Technologies, Philippines' premier provider of virtual tours and maps for LGU's real estate, tourism, and private businesses. MarketMind Local, a digital marketing company focused in helping small and medium businesses. Smile, consent-driven digital employment verification service to make smarter decisions faster. UBI Philippines, advocating universal basic income for Filipinos. BV Code Technologies, IT solutions specializing in software development, blockchain smart contracts, digital wallets, and cybersecurity. The Buzz Web3 microblogging app promoting freedom of speech and content ownership. Looking for buy and sell online with Sigurado sellers. NutriCoach, personalized nutrition and weight loss programs for you. Benjoy's food products, the home of premium bacon ends, Tapa, and Tocino. This episode is powered by Contact RFID Business Cards, Jure.ph, Big Giant Games, Founders Launchpad, Packetworks, Uplift Code Camp, Pareto Consulting, Agile Data Solutions, Hassle PH, Board Prep, Zales, Sirius MD. Please support the podcast through the links in the description.